Everybody, come on in.
Come on in.
We keep it real.
We keep it raw.
We keep it uncut.
All day.
We are
Marriage Takeover. The person that requested this, are you on tonight? If you're not on, I'm have a problem with that. You can't be requesting not showing up now.
So let us know where you're checking in from. We would love to be able to rep your city.
Got a hey from Alaska.
Alaska!
Hey, where from? Are you
What
from?
part of Alaska?
Are you from Fairbanks?
Anchorage or North
No.
Pole? Anchorage or North Pole? We did 3 years in North Pole. So welcome.
Augusta.
Augusta,
Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia in the house. Welcome, welcome.
One time for the Peach State.
Ohio.
Ohio in the house. One time.
Dallas in the house.
What? Dallas in the house. One time.
Welcome, Dallas.
Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Let's go.
Memphis. I don't know.
Memphis,
Tennessee.
Love it, love it.
If I start crying, it's the onion. She didn't hurt my feelings today.
What up from Stort, Florida?
Store in the house. One time, store in the crib.
Welcome,
Hey,
everybody.
Welcome. So I'm telling you.
Okay.
South of Alabama.
South of Alabama in the house.
Is that Mobile?
St. Petersburg, Florida.
St. Pete.
California.
Cali in the house. California.
Durham, North Carolina.
Hey,
Durham.
Durham.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Oaktown.
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Another Oklahoma.
Oklahoma in the house. In Jersey.
All right.
Welcome to Kitchen Conversation.
Welcome to Kitchen Conversation. We thank you all for joining. So tonight it was requested shepherd's pie. So we're preparing the shepherd's pie. I know your boy Chef E-Rock be on it, but this is the queen bee.
So tonight y'all get me in the kitchen.
And it's just gonna be her, so we won't have no burn down incidents. and so with that being said, I'm just the sous chef tonight. So last week someone requested the shepherd's pie, so we're putting it together. Somebody else requested the vegan mac and cheese. Okay, we got to practice that a little bit before we can bring that one live. That's different. That's just totally different for us. So, but we thank you guys for joining on this evening. And so tonight's convo, we're talking about unconditional love versus conditional love, and how it how it works in the marriage. Now, because some of us think that well, never mind. I'm gonna wait till the queen bee get ready.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, comment.
Alabama, Delaware.
Alabama and Delaware.
Delaware.
Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Port St. Lucie, yeah.
Oklahoma, Denver, Richmond, Virginia, Pennsylvania, DC,
Sweet.
Houston,
DC.
Miami,
DMV.
DC, Oklahoma, Michigan.
Dade County here.
Oklahoma is represented tonight.
Hey,
Fort Worth, Texas.
Texas.
Fort Worth.
I'll be down there in October.
Maryland.
Oh, MD, DMV.
Elson, Alaska.
Alson.
We were stationed at Alson.
Yeah. Shout out to the Air Force.
One time.
Woo. Good stuff.
Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Oh, Orangeburg, okay.
Oklahoma. Oh.
All right.
Atlanta, Georgia. Hope Mills, North Carolina. Miami, Florida. St. Louis.
Sweet.
Philadelphia.
St. Louis
Philly.
is in the house.
Let's see that brotherly love.
DC, Pittsburgh.
DMV.
DMV.
Okay.
All right, hey,
Hey,
that's
how
right.
much
We
milk
thank
do
you
think
all.
we need to
Half a cup.
have? Half a cup of milk.
Gonna take you.
Pittsburgh, Michigan. Richmond.
Pittsburgh, Michigan.
All right.
Sweet.
Texas. Burtonsville, Maryland.
So,
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
hey, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta jump on time so you can make roll call. So, hey,
I
we-
appreciate it. Thank
we
you guys.
we appreciate the
Sitting
love.
strong.
We appreciate the
Hey,
love.
while you're tuned in and we're prepping, before you hop off, I know we rep your city and thank you guys so much for tuning in. But before you hop off, we have our mini retreat. It's like a challenge that's coming up. So go to renewmymarriage.com and get registered. It's absolutely free and it's starting June 6th and it's going to be absolutely free. So continue to rep your city. We so welcome you into Kitchen Conversations on tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about conditional love versus unconditional love.
Yep.
Last week, if you weren't here, we had one of our visitors comment on they do conditional love,
Right.
because that saved their marriage. And so typically you do an unconditional love. So we're gonna unwrap that on tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that tonight.
Thank you guys so much for the hearts. I love you guys. We
Hey,
appreciate you guys.
I gotta ask you a question though. You tell me, in your marriage, what do you have? Do you have a conditional love or is it a unconditional love? Go ahead. We got a comment?
You got
Someone
it.
asked how long you guys been married.
Oh, I'm here. Let us.
24 years.
Hey, let me reintroduce myself. My name. No. Now we've been married just this past weekend. We celebrated 24 years of marriage. It's been awesome. We had our trials, our tribulations, our ups and downs. But you know what else here at Marriage Takeover? We're gonna keep it real, keep it raw. We're gonna keep it uncut.
Yeah.
Because there's just some things that are so funny that a lot of people, well, in the circle that we were in, it was, I say, out of all of us, we still made it right along with another couple. And so we've been through our trials, tribulations, our ups and downs. And so here, we're just here trying to just let you know, like, hey, you can make it.
You can
no
win.
matter what it may be or whatever you might be dealing with or going through, guess what? You can win if you choose. And so this is the thing. So based off of what happened on during last week's conversation about having a conditional love marriage, it kind of popped, you know, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. So what is that? So it's like, okay, what is that difference? What is it that what is it? Unconditional love versus conditional love. So I want to just ask you a quick question. If you can't respond, is what kind of marriage in your marriage do you have a conditional love or do you have an unconditional love?
Yes. Keep going.
Go ahead, hit the comments.
Where's the pie crust?
Someone said they coming in from Thailand, and someone said shout out, shout out to y'all. Love to hear it. Black love.
Woo! Love you guys. Thank
Thailand.
you. Oh, that was a big thing.
Thailand
Thank
in the
you
house.
so much. That was a big, I don't know what it was. I missed it.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you guys so much. And Thailand is in the house.
So
What happened to the pie crust? Oh, right here.
Someone said them and their husband have an unconditional love.
Sweet.
That's what's up.
Sweet.
So real quick, hey, listen, we can't be telling everybody. Who?
The pie thing is down there.
I got it already, baby.
Oh, she got it. So the thing is, right? So we cooking and we excited about this one. So please bear with us just for a little bit because we running like crazy right now. So hey, so real quick though, right? So when you say that you have that conditional love, that you have that unconditional love, can you name at least 3 times when that unconditional love showed true and when you had to fight to make sure that unconditional love stayed unconditional? Because there are some times in our marriage that we'll take our unconditional love and then because of what we just dealt with or went through, now we begin to have a condition. Whoa, watch out now. Watch out now. What you got to say about that, Mama?
I was just gonna say sometimes we do that when we don't forgive.
Ooh.
Like when we don't forgive, we, without knowing, place a condition inside of our marriage.
Work it out now. Say that again.
Right?
Say that again. Shit, we working, so we're trying to get this going.
I'm trying to get it in the oven so I can really, really sit down and talk. Let's turn this down.
So, and it's like, because there are times, even in our marriage, that when we're kind of dealing with certain stuff and going through certain stuff, you know, we tend to kind of think about, you know, divorce. So my question is, so you ask that question, and let me just say this real quick. Now, if they put your hands on you, we don't condone that.
Yeah,
we don't condone that.
Abuse. We
don't condone that. But I will be praying for each and one of you that is actually going through. Make sure you kind of jot that down for me. That is actually going through and thinking about divorce. The one thing that I can understand is that first, ask yourself, what got me to this place to think about divorce? Because is it because of the triggers that we both have that haven't been dealt with, or is it because of the unforgiveness that I still have that hasn't been dealt with? You know, because there comes a whole host of things that we begin to think about. Because the one powerful thing on this earth is unity, and the best place that the unity shows up is in marriage. Woo! Go ahead. We're gonna go to the comments.
So 3 things. Multiple people have said beautiful kitchen.
Thank you.
And people said communication is key to keep it unconditional, to keep your marriage unconditional. And I just want to see what your point of view is. Someone said men change their feeling when they are hurt.
Say it again.
Ooh.
Say that again.
Men change their feeling when they are hurt.
They do.
You want to know the funny thing is, though? You are right to an extent. Because one thing about men, now men are often challenged by so much that a lot of people don't know about. As one time my daughter said to me, she came up to me, she said, "Daddy, what's wrong?" And I was like, "No, I'm just chilling." She's like, "No, Daddy, something is wrong." She says to me, she says, "Daddy, do not suffer in silence." And so a lot of times that when our feelings change because we don't know how to verbalize how we're feeling.
Right.
And that causes us as men to change because we begin to have the weight of the world on our shoulders when sometimes we don't recognize that our wife is there because they are the help meet. I know what you're saying, but I know Reynolds getting nails. Tell Reynolds I need a
sponsorship.
Tell Reynolds we need a sponsorship. But so because when we suffer in silence, that is where things begin to shift, because now we begin to think that, oh, you don't care about me, or you don't notice my trials or what I'm dealing with, what I'm going through, but you said it actually this, and this. So, but we as men, because we're talking about unconditional love. So how can you have someone to love you through what you're dealing with if you don't know how to verbalize it? Now, this is the one thing about it is that, baby, I feel like I'm talking by myself. But so this is the one thing about it is that you can communicate, but can you communicate effectively? That's actually talking about what's going on, being vulnerable. Because see, that comes to a level of intimacy as well. Trust me, we ain't get here overnight. So we really have to put some work in, because it was at a moment I didn't trust my wonderful wife back here. So you're like, how in the world you stayed in there and you didn't trust? Listen, I could not think about divorce because I couldn't afford it, for one. So I couldn't think about divorce. So if I couldn't afford it, I'm not finna stay in a hellhole. So what do I need to do so I can better me? That's the question we got to ask. What do I have to do to better me? You know what I mean? You got any comments?
Someone said that they really like that unconditional love can just come when you don't forgive. They said that's it, unresolved issues that have not been addressed.
Yes.
Unaccountability and unforgiveness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the one thing that you got to look at. Go ahead, babe, because you ain't saying nothing.
I was just gonna say, well, because I'm trying to, yeah. So, so I don't want to burn the kitchen down. I'm trying to talk and cook and do all that stuff at the same time without burning stuff up.
Now she see what I deal with every Thursday night while she sit here chilling.
I am so sorry, but one of the things that I wanted to mention was when like in the marriage, right? Our whole marriage and a replica of our marriage was pretty much identified by Christ, by Jesus. He created it, he mandated it, he gave us the example, he gave us the blueprint. And so when we have that as the blueprint, and he tells us that the thing above all else is love. Like if you don't have love, then you have nothing. So when you have love and you say that your marriage is based off of a condition, and again, let me say this. I am not condemning. I am not tearing down what the young lady said last week. It's just, I'm trying to understand how you can have conditions with your love in a marriage. Because if love covers a multitude of sin, it doesn't mean that I tolerate you and all your foolishness all the time, but it means that you do have to change. I can't change you, but at the same time, having a condition for the love means that anything that you do, I cannot love you based off of the things that you do. And that's not how the marriage is designed. And so when you come to the table with a conditional love, then that is what, we're working in that progress. That means that you're able to forgive. That means that you're able to love in spite of. That means that you're able to overcome hurdles together. That means that you're able to identify your weaknesses and grow together, right? It's about being able to, when you're down, growing together, grow up. You know what I'm saying? You come up together. And so when I think about conditional love versus the unconditional, there are some things and some components that you put in play, because if my love for my husband is conditional, that means that I don't fully trust him. That means that I'm not vulnerable enough with him. That means that I have to be a certain way, act a certain way, because if I do something wrong, then he's not going to love me. And that's not how marriage is supposed to be set up. So
people saying that's a confirmation for them. They say a preach.
So I just want to show you all this really, really quick. So we got you here on TikTok. So this is the roux for the shepherd's pie or the pot pie, based off of where you're from. And then we also have Facebook as well. Can y'all see that on Facebook?
Yeah, they can see it.
Can y'all see that?
They can
so,
see it.
Okay. Sweet. So I'm getting ready to add the chicken, and we're going to pop this bad boy in the oven.
Do you have the pie tin out? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. My laptop my tablet ain't want to work with me. So understanding one. Go ahead. Comment before I say
Someone
something.
said, I had to find it again. Someone said, I wish you got some counsel, my husband and I.
Well, we can. All you have to do is log on to marriagetakeover.com.
And then go to that Renew My Marriage Challenge, renewmymarriage.com. I'm telling you, we're going to be one-on-one with you all for 5 days. Y'all get us for 5 days.
Strong days.
And if you get the VIP access, you get us in the morning and at night for 5 days.
So real quick, right? And so because she doing her thing. So understanding what is what's so funny? Hold on, we're gonna go comment real quick.
Said, can you please express FedEx me the shepherd's pie?
Oh, that do look good, boo.
I got you. I'm gonna have to freeze it, and then we can get that over to you.
So listen, I'm gonna tell you. So when you look at, hold on, we got a comment. We'll go ahead and comment.
Someone said their sister told them that marriage is a business deal. And they don't agree with that at all.
Oh my God!
No.
Who said that? Oh my God! See, I see. Listen, now that's it. Let me show you something real quick. When you talking about marriage is a business deal, you just said I'm coming in with conditions.
Not only that, what if the business fails?
Oh my God!
Then will you walk away?
Then it's like there's no fight. So we're gonna shut the company down? That don't make sense. Am I right or am I wrong? Just tell me. But when you look at your marriage being a covenant, that comes with no conditions because it's an unconditional process. So I want you to look at this. My man, that's my good people that's over in Thailand. You tell me if this is it. even from what I have seen and from what I have studied, is that every marriage has to go to the altar. If I'm wrong, please. I said from what I have studied. Every culture has an altar in marriage where something is exchanged. So you tell me, what else has an altar? Comments?
So someone said it was the first time hearing they asked if you guys are both passionate or if they love your energy.
Thank you.
I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. No.
No, I thought they said it was both pastors.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are. And we're like this all the time. So this is not just for this moment. This is all the time.
And the person said that told them that marriage was a business deal. They said that the person who told them they were married a year ago and that they sleep in separate rooms.
My Lord. Now, see, that's what business deals do.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I will kind of get deep into that, but we're going to keep with the love and unconditional.
And I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, because marriage is so much better than that. Now, I ain't going to lie, right? He get on my nerves sometimes.
What?
I get on his nerves sometimes.
Y'all saw her. Y'all saw she just hit me. Y'all saw she just hit me. Y'all saw she just hit me.
Would you stop? I got to wash my hands now.
Now she got to wash her hands. Hey, for one, it's like, man, when you sit back and really look at one thing about marriage is really what you make it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make it a business deal, then guess what it's gonna be? It's gonna be a business deal. If you're gonna make it a place of fun, love, joy, then you're gonna get all of that out of it.
And some business deals are very lucrative and successful.
Right.
But it really is in how you want your marriage to be, right?
Right.
I think that, like, marriage is a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie. Marriage is a lot of work.
It's some work.
But I love my marriage, and we have been able to weather the storm together.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yes.
So when you think of a business deal and you think of the different transactions that come.
Put, let me be
butter on top.
You putting butter or you gonna wash
butter.
your head? What?
Butter.
Oh.
Yeah. And you think about the business deals, or you think about where things might go wrong. You think about a business deal, you think about the people that you might be in business with that you know you don't like no more. You think about how you might have to reorg. You might have to go through bankruptcy. Like, you think about all these different things that businesses go through. So when you think about that and you think about how the business structure is set up, then that now is an agreement versus a covenant.
Right. So now, therefore, that's where the conditions come into play.
We got a comment.
Comments.
You got 3. Someone said, "I love your marriage."
Thank you.
And someone said that marriage is not a business deal. It is more of a covenant.
It is absolutely a covenant.
It's not more. It is.
It is absolutely a covenant.
And the reason why is because when you look at that's all right. But when you look at what marriage is all about, because marriage is that one place that actually shows the true essence of what love really is for one another, that unconditional love, because when you can deal with what happened? I'm doing a good job.
You are.
Y'all saw she took the brush?
You're doing an amazing
Y'all saw she took the brush?
But see, when you cook, you don't like for me to help either.
Okay, y'all heard that right. So she just told the sous chef to sit down somewhere. So I'm taking the gloves are coming off. So but the thing is that.
All right, everybody, hold on. Let me see. Let me do this real quick.
What's that?
So we got the pie. Everything is ready to rock and roll. We're gonna pop that in the oven for about 45 minutes. All right, got some butter on the top.
So, cause this is good. We're gonna let the pie get a little better. Ooh, only at $3.50. Okay, so looking at it as a business deal. So basically, you still talking about the unconditional love versus the condition, right? So check this out, right? Conditional love. In conditional love, that love is earned. It's earned on the basis of conscious or unconscious conditions being met by the lover. Conditional is limited by the condition. So you think about it. Whatever the condition is, you just limit one, not just the love, but you just limited your ability to love based off of the condition. Well, I ain't gonna give you none because you ain't do X, Y, Z. That's a condition. Can't be that way. You know what I mean? So then when you're looking at where unconditional love is where the love is given freely to the loved one, no matter what. Why? Because there's no condition.
Right.
Loving is primary. It is that unconditional, that is absolute, without conditions, limitations, reservations, or qualifications. That is unconditional love. So you think about it. So I'm gonna tell you, I got a real good example for unconditional love. So right, my wife got a dog that she's been asking for 20 years, right? So when I arose this morning,
this happened today.
So I'm gonna show you where unconditional love came into play. So I'm not a dog fan. Okay, let me just say that. But I do, she'll tell you, I treat the dog with love and kindness and all of that. But this morning, Jesus. So I arose and came down to the dog's area and was like, something stank. We need to do something.
Well, no, we came downstairs and immediately we knew something was wrong. So she went to the groomers yesterday, and last night, I don't know what happened, when it happened, how it happened.
Either way,
we woke up this morning to her vomiting and
mess, all that,
all over the place.
All over. No, wait a minute, not all over the place.
It was all over her.
All over her area. And I'm like, wait a minute. No. See, that was that unconditional love. Did I clean anything? No. I'm sorry. My bad. My daughter just looked at me and was like, Daddy, you know you helped me clean. So I helped. But that is that unconditional love, because it was something that I do not like, that I still put my hands to help clean up. And so that's an example of just that unconditional love. Now, before I got treated, I had an issue with the dog, to where with my love for her and the dog had a condition on it. But then I recognized that the condition was with me. It wasn't with her, it was with me. So that's what I'm saying, is that when you have that unconditional love, that thing, it just flows. It just flows. Any comments? Babe, what you got?
Now, I do want to clear up, when we say conditions, now,
clear it up, baby.
We're not saying that you can't have boundaries, right? You should have boundaries. But when you come to conditions, that means that you're putting a condition on how we love each other, on how we serve each other, how we honor each other, how we respect each other, and how we go in our marriage. And so if we go in it like a business transaction, that's an agreement. If we then turn to how God designed our marriage to be, which was a covenant, then what happens is we then say, okay, till death do us part. This means that no matter what happens, as long as we continue to love one another, we can make it through the storm.
Right.
That means that whatever happens, that baby, I'll love you through this. You don't have a job, I'm going to love you jobless. That means that I'm going to love you. Something goes wrong, something happens to you, I'm going to continue to love you and honor you and respect you, because that's how the marriage is set up. It's not set up to where, if you're not working, I don't love you no more.
Oh my God.
Now the Bible says that a man is worthy of his hire, right? And if you don't work, you don't eat, right? But it doesn't mean that you should disrespect him, that you should dishonor him, that you should trample upon him when he's not working. That means that at that moment that you step into place and then become the helpmeet that God has truly designed for us to be, and then to walk alongside him, to be able to hold him up, to be able to lift him up, to be able to walk with him throughout this journey. And that's how we open that up. That doesn't mean that we're a crutch and we say, oh, baby, don't worry about working. No, that means that we help them so that we can grow together, right? Life happens. So when life happens, do you decide not to love them, right? When life happens, do you decide to cast them to the side? Because that's what an agreement will do.
Come on now.
But if you're in covenant, that means that no matter what happens, you could be sick, you could be paralyzed, you could get in a car accident, anything could happen, and I'm still going to love you through.
Right.
Because that's how our love is conditioned.
Come on, honey.
It's unconditional.
Come on, honey.
Now, again, I just want to put that caveat. Doesn't mean that I'm going to tolerate, like if you're mistreating me, you're disrespecting me, you're doing all those different things that you're not supposed to do, not being in alignment with God, doesn't mean that I'm tolerating that and giving you a pass for it.
Right.
Because then you set boundaries for certain things.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that I'm going to love you less.
Right.
Which is the condition.
That's the condition. Ooh, because do you know you can actually love your spouse through? And see, that's where a lot of us kind of mess up, because we look at what we missing out on, or we look at what we don't have versus enjoying what we do have.
Right.
And that's when you begin to look past what don't seems to be going, quote unquote, your way, and can enjoy in what is taking place. I'm trying to tell you, it helps you to really, how can I say, create that tighter bond with your spouse when when you can be the only one on the boat having so much fun, and everybody trying to figure out what happened to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's having that, when you having that unconditional love. But a lot of times when you look at it, man, there's literally like 4 different types of love in one study, but then there's like 7 or 8 different ones. And so, but it's like the one thing that stands out the most is the unconditional love.
Yeah.
And so when you having that means I am willing to love you through this.
Don't step back, baby.
I'm not. I know she dropped it on me. So you know what I'm saying. Hey, is there any questions? Any questions? Any comments?
Any comments?
Come on, it's a conversation. We conversated.
I mean, they agree with y'all in the comments, just saying like
Oh,
very
sweet.
true, right? Like
Sweet.
Right. So my question is, how? Wait a minute. Well, tell about the time when. Well, I can talk about me.
sir, watch them hands.
Huh?
Watch them hands.
Girl, listen. So I can talk about me, right? Because I had to literally, like, the one time when the first time I lost my job. Ooh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. This thing, ooh, Lord, that's all I can say.
I failed the test the first time.
Oh my
y'all.
God, all kind of conditions, all kind of conditions. So I was like, Lord, I don't care where I get a job. I would sweep the road. I don't care. I'm not belittling anything. No, I'm not saying that because I have a degree. But it's like, no, I don't care. I go be a mall cop. I don't care. I just need to go do something, because either 2 things was getting ready to happen. My love was getting ready to become a condition, because that thing was crazy. Ooh, Lord. And it was so funny. So we got over that hurdle, right? So then, oh man, like years later, it was years later, the company I was working at began to downsize. And so, but there was so much change that kept us through. But I told my son, right? I said, give it 2 weeks, Mama gonna say something. 2 weeks came by. She said, Mama came in and said, I said, ooh, let me just hurry up. No, money wasn't tight. we was not running out of anything. So
what had happened was I had triggers, right? And I had a problem with, I grew up in, a lot of the men in my life were sorry men. And so when my husband wasn't working, it wasn't that he was sorry. It's just that he chose to play video games. He chose to enjoy his time off. He chose to relax. He chose to do certain things. So when I come home from working all day and I see you in the same spot that you were when I
you
left,
yes.
I got problems.
Hey, but hold on. Hold on.
So I got problems.
Hold on, wait a minute. But she missed dinner was cooked. She missed the house. She missed the house was even clean. See what I'm saying?
Most of the time.
Stop it. The house was clean. You right. You right. Because the bed, I didn't make the bed. You right. Because I had a nap.
I'm just saying. But I'm just keeping it real, right?
Keep it 100, boo.
So that was for me, and I had to learn over time that God was calling me to a place that was different. And so I'm not saying that. So throughout our marriage, I do believe that I've had conditions on how I love, how I serve.
We all have.
But understanding how God created things, right? It was much different. And once I understand how God designed the marriage and how we're supposed to honor him and align ourselves with that marriage, then my perspective started to change. Then my behavior started to change.
Oh, yeah.
My responses started to change.
Yes,
my reactions started to change.
Yes, it did.
Because I realized that even throughout our marriage, that there are some things that God wants to do in him.
Come on, mama.
And I cannot be in the way of
what
God wants to do in him.
Ooh.
And I need to understand what that help me looks like and how to align myself to where I'm honoring God as well as honoring him for the growth that he needs.
Come on, mama. Comments.
Yes.
Okay. So someone said hi, and also someone said,
hey,
is it bad that their boyfriend is 15 years older than them? They feel like that he's using them.
Listen,
You gotta
I'm
go.
gonna tell you like Aaliyah used to say, age ain't number.
But I need to be past that threshold, though. I need to be past that threshold.
But I will say, if you feel like he's using you, then have a conversation.
Right.
It all starts with communication. Start identifying, why do you feel like he's using you?
Right.
What are some of those things that are, targeted or brought out if you feel like they're using you? Because then you can have specific things, and then you can have that conversation. Hey, listen.
Right.
I just want to have a conversation with you. I feel like this. This may not be the case, but this is how I feel, and this is why I feel that way. And you give the examples, and I want to see how we can change this. If that doesn't change, then set up those boundaries, because right now you're still dating. And when somebody shows you who they are, like Oprah says, believe it.
Believe it.
You can't change them. And I think a lot of times we make the mistake of, if I'm with them long enough, or if I marry them, they'll change. And we get disappointed because oftentimes those people don't change because they are who they are. And we can't change them. They have to want to change themselves.
So I'm telling you, Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did I say 17? I'm at 15. And also, they said that they do more for him than what he does for them. So
my thing is, listen, this is the one thing you have got to understand. In the relationship, who are you? Because you're dating. And I'll be so honest with you, every married person on here can tell you, especially every married man, when they stood at the altar and said, I do, they just felt a weight come out of nowhere. So marriage and dating is two different things. So you can't be dating acting like you're married, because there's just something that's just totally different that, how can I say?
When you say I do, can't get the milk without the whole cow.
You cannot get the milk without the whole cow. Period.
But here's the important thing, though, is to set up that boundary now.
Set that boundary.
Because if there's something that you're expecting, what you don't want to do is to have it be an unspoken communication or an unspoken expectation.
Right.
So if you haven't communicated to him what the expectation is and what you're looking for, then now you have that unspoken expectation. He'll never meet that because he doesn't know how to meet that expectation.
Right.
So it's important now to have that conversation with him.
And so I'm going to tell you real quick, though, if you really want to understand what we're talking about, get a little deeper in that expectation and the communication, check out the challenge at renewmymarriage.com.
Yes.
So, and go ahead.
Yes.
Someone asked, what financial advice do you have for couples? And someone else said, what do you say to a husband that doesn't want to get help for being an alcoholic and that smokes?
Okay.
So,
which one we want to tackle first?
Okay, for finance.
Yes.
It starts with communication.
And really what works for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you off.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Sorry.
It starts with communication. And because remember now, we're still dealing with unconditional love, right? So, but it starts with communication and understanding the dynamics of your household.
Right.
Because in most houses, as we always see, that the woman handles the finances. Well, that's not the dynamics that work in our house.
Right.
So
y'all don't want me to count.
Lord Jesus, we've been there.
Now I can spend it, but you don't want me to count.
Lord, and you got to keep a small leash on that.
Right.
So, but that's one thing that you have got to understand when it comes down to your finances. But if you really want to get a little bit more into that portion, check out renewmymarriage.com.
But I'll also say, know who's the spender
and know who's the saver.
Know who has the spending habits and what the money habits are.
Right.
And then know who's more responsible with the money, right? Some households, some marriages, they have separate bank accounts. If that works for you and you can manage your money that way, then do that. We tried that. That didn't work well. That didn't work well. So we have a joint account where we have all of our bills come out of one account, and then we have an account that's set up for allowance. So we have allowance that comes out separately from the bill. So there's one hub account for the household.
Right.
So do what works for you. Find out, what are the money habits? What are the spending habits? Who is better with money? Who's more responsible for getting everything paid?
Right.
And then from there, work to build your own blueprint. It doesn't have to look like somebody else's, but I'm just saying that didn't work for us.
So I'm gonna tell you, if you really want to know that a lot more in detail, check out our book. What?
No, if you're gonna do the challenge, you get out and your advertisement too.
Okay, no, I was gonna say Check out our book. It's called Know Your Role in Your Marriage. You can grab that from our website, marriagetakeover.com. Right. I know I hate to be sitting here.
He's sitting up there. So baby, we're trying to help the people. So
I know.
Stop promoting. Y'all, the link is in the bio. Y'all want to go check out the website? Go to the link in the bio or marriagetakeover.com. So back to the couple where how do you help a husband? Yes.
All right, I gotta go back to these comments. There's a whole bunch.
Okay, go to the help.
So it says, how do you handle a relationship that's moving so fast? 6 months of dating turned into marriage, and someone said premarital counseling is crucial to a marriage. And someone else said, what do you think about moving into it before marriage? And
all right, hold on. We got a lot of comments.
There's a lot of comments.
Right, so we're gonna get to it, but I want to get back to the couple that's got the husband who doesn't want to get help and who is an alcoholic who also smokes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's what I would like to admonish to you, right? Sometimes, the first step is for that person to realize that they have a problem. If they don't realize that they have a problem, they're not going to want to get help.
Right.
And sometimes you telling them that they have a problem, they don't want to hear that.
Right.
So it's not until they're sick and tired of being sick and tired that they're going to want to go get help.
Right.
So what you do in the process, and because we do things from a biblical perspective, I'm gonna assume, and if I assume wrong, y'all please let me know.
If you know Jesus.
But if you have a relationship with God, it is now your opportunity and your role to be able to sanctify your husband.
Yes.
And so when it looks like you're sanctifying your husband, that doesn't look like you going and you laying hands all on him and you praying and
come on, mama,
you bless him, you heal him. No. That means that in your moments of whether you're preparing dinner, whether you are making the bed or you're making his side of the bed, you're laying your hands over the pillow. God, you cover him and keep him. God, whatever it is, so he doesn't have to hear you or see you praying for him.
Come on now.
Or see you advocating for him.
Come on.
See you standing in the gap for him, but you are. But what you also have to do is make sure that you're setting up boundaries. Because what typically happens is when there is somebody who is an alcoholic or who's smoking, sometimes they use a lot of money because they're spending for their habit. And so you have to create a boundary so that you're safeguarding your funds for your family, right? And then at the same time, support them in every little step that they make. I've never really been a smoker, but I hear it's hard as heck to try to stop smoking. Mm-hmm. So how can you, have a conversation with them? Not when you're upset. Like, y'all go out on a date night, right? I don't know if you have kids or not, but go out on a date night. If you got kids, if you got young kids and you're not comfortable with people, keeping your kids, listen, put the babies to bed early. What I want to say, I'm not going to say.
And enjoy and have a moment of intimacy.
Right, but no, not only that, but put them to bed early, right? However you have to put them to bed early. Y'all know. Put them to bed early.
Put them to bed early.
Y'all have a dinner date. Put a candlelight dinner right there in your house. And y'all just have a conversation.
There you go.
Hey, babes, I love you. And when you're having a conversation, don't do it so defensive and attacking them, because that's how they're probably going to take it.
Because walls coming up.
Right. The walls come up because they know they got a problem. Right. It's just right now they're not willing to get the help. So when you do that, just say, hey, babes, I love you. Like, what are your plans? What are your desires? Do you think that there's anything that's hindering you or holding you back from doing it? How can I support you in overcoming this hurdle of, where you are right now?
Right.
If you were to, can I challenge you for the safety of our marriage to maybe not, drink as much? Maybe we can do 2 or 3 nights.
Let's not use the word challenge, because it comes different to a man.
Well, not so much challenge, but so how would you say?
So can you honor me just by limiting?
Well, what if they don't want to honor you because that's their habit? Like, it's a fueling.
But then now you're getting to the root.
Okay. You
see what I'm saying? Now you're getting to the root just based off of the questions that you're asking.
Right.
Because it's like, you know what? Yeah, I love my wife because she do what she do. Yes, I'm going to honor my wife and I'm going to cut back. If I drink a keg, I'll smoke a pack, I'm going to go to a half or whatever the case may be.
And then if there's something that you want to give up, then make it. So when I say make it a challenge, make it like a fun challenge. Like, right, I know y'all, COVID been good to us. So
you ain't lying,
I need to lose about 40 pounds. So if it's, maybe if you cut back about 3 days.
I love the way she looks.
Cut it down to about 3 days. then maybe I can do this and we could do this together and see how that goes. And then you celebrate the small wins.
Celebrate the small wins.
So that's the advice that I have. I wouldn't attack it hard, but I would come in a little soft and come in a way that they don't expect it because you love them.
And understand your spouse's relax moments. Yeah. Because there are things that your spouse can do. There's things that she can do that would just relax me, period.
Right, because I'm going to tell y'all, when I was in that process of sanctifying him, I would rub his head and I would pray silently like he had no clue what I was doing.
She was setting me up.
I would walk through his room in his closet and just pray over his shoes. He had no clue what I was doing.
She was setting me up.
So sometimes
I was a thug.
We have to make sure that our life rises up to represent and honor God in those moments, because they're gonna say, well, you a fake Christian, you a hypocrite, you know this, you know that. So we have to make sure that although we're not perfect, that our life truly represents that, and we're not condemning them for what they're going through.
Right.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of questions and comments. I'm so sorry. So we're gonna get to them, y'all. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Someone said a relationship should not be a mystery, be intentional. Someone said, amen, hallelujah, stand in the gap for yours. And the lady said that he hates her telling him that he has an addiction.
Okay.
Don't tell it.
Okay.
And a whole bunch of questions.
So try that new strategy. Instead of saying that he has an addiction, try that new strategy that I just gave you and see if that works out a little bit better.
That's all you gotta do. It's all about strategizing.
Baby, you in my you don't do much.
And someone said, what do you think about moving in together before marriage?
Listen, let me tackle this one. I'm gonna jump on this one. Listen, Paul said it best to me, the Apostle Paul. He said it's better to marry than to burn. So my thing is, why put yourself in a position to be tempted? That's the only thing, because understand this.
Your phone look crooked.
It is.
We leaning.
Hey, are we straight? Listen.
We leaning.
You did all that talking.
I'm so sorry.
You did all that talking.
Go ahead, baby.
So check it out though. If you move in, this just might listen. If you do, hey, I ain't mad at you. But what I'm saying is that you don't have this, how you put it? You open yourself up to temptation. Right. And that's the big thing, because say, you move in together, right? If you're trying to save money, hey, I get it, whatever the circumstance may be. But when you move in together, are you going to sleep in separate rooms? Well, if you don't, you're going to be in one room, right? So you're opening yourself up to temptation. And a lot of times, if you're going to show me that it's okay, I get to have the whole cow for free. So then it's like, what is that? So when you're running, when you open yourself up for temptation like that, then you're also bringing an expectation as well.
And I'll just add to that. I know that culture today is just like you can stay with each other and it's cool, right? But I will also say, and I'm not saying this from a space of condemnation at all, but if you are to try to sanctify yourself and to keep yourself as pure as possible before you get married, when you are living with each other, there's so much temptation that goes on.
There's a lot of temptation.
So I don't know that, like, when we were dating, we're high school sweethearts. I was a holiday saint.
Yeah,
right.
She was a holiday saint.
So I was a holiday saint, and so I didn't go to church that often. It was just for the major holidays, and I didn't really have a relationship with God, so I didn't understand what it was like or what it meant to keep yourself pure and holy before you get married.
Right.
So we was having sex. We weren't living together.
We weren't living together, but we was living it up.
All that other stuff, right?
Temptation.
But we didn't realize that. But now knowing this, if you're trying to do your marriage that's designed the way God would have it to be, then I would not recommend that you move in together before you get married, because there are too many.
There's a lot of risk.
There's a lot of temptation.
There's a lot of temptation. There's a lot of risk.
And you don't realize the spiritual battle that you're putting yourself into when you move in together before you're married.
Yep.
Yes, Aaliyah. Sorry.
Someone asked, advice for a strong woman finding a strong man for a beautiful daughter, both equal financially. Yeah, both equally financially.
Fine. What? So I'm put
Say it again. I want to make sure I understand.
She done lost it. So
Advice
basically,
for
a strong woman
fighting a strong man for a beautiful daughter, both equal financially, both have good financial income.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
And so they're fighting for a daughter. Okay.
What do you mean fighting for a daughter?
So just so I can get clarification, are y'all looking to conceive and right now you aren't able to, or are you looking to be able to help a child that you have right now?
Yeah, that's the piece that we gotta kind of get. Because one thing that I can say that if both of you all are married, both of you are stable financially, then it comes down to the power of agreement.
Yes.
If you're married, it's going to come down to the power of agreement. And see, and that's the thing that a lot of married couples have not really understood. That's why there's always a lot of a lot of head bumping. Because when you can come to the place of agreement, man, honestly, you can literally move mountains.
Do you have clarification for us?
They didn't put anything in the chat, but I think the way it was worded might have meant like fighting for
like a custody battle?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Okay.
And so and that's what I'm saying. When you have that agreement with each other, I'm telling you, mountains will be moved. As it was stated earlier, yes, we're both pastors. And one thing that I can understand I can tell you is that for us, the word works.
Ooh,
for us, I just opened it, but keep it in there.
I'm gonna move it to the top.
I wouldn't touch it.
Okay.
Because when you look at Psalms 133, it says how sweet and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. That's the power of agreement. So when you're dwelling together in unity, meaning that we ain't at odds, we're on the same page, we're moving in the same direction, we're moving step by step, we both understand where we're going, we both loving each other unconditionally, we both are, step for step. Everything is like we are carbon copies.
And have faith for that thing to work out.
Exactly.
So when you have faith, you're praying about it, you're honoring God with it, but in addition to that, you're working towards those steps, right? Faith without works is dead.
It's dead.
So even as you're coming together on that thing, and we will have you in prayer. We normally do a Monday morning prayer.
Yes.
And so we are going to add that to the prayer list.
We're going to add that to the prayer list.
So when you're working and you have that work, that faith, the works that are working with your faith, get you a really good attorney. Ooh. Right? Look at all the different.
As if it's custody battle.
If it's custody, look at all the different battles that are taking place, the laws, understand that. And then if it's trying to conceive, then again, stand in the gap and have that faith, right? And believe God, because he still does miracles.
Yes, he does.
He will still do whatever the word of God says that he's going to do, right?
He's going to do it.
Look at what he did with Sarah.
99
years old, 100 years old, and she's able to conceive, and God didn't do it beforehand because then it wouldn't have looked like a miracle.
Come on now.
It wouldn't have been a miracle. He wouldn't have been able to truly manifest his glory and his power in that particular time.
And again, because that was also at the same time when they both agreed on the promises.
Right. They believed
what it said. And understand this. Like I was saying in Psalms 133, verse 3 says, and there he will command the blessing.
When you are in agreement.
When you're in agreement. So I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of you all said that, hey, your kitchen is beautiful. This was a command blessing.
And thank you so much for it.
We appreciate it, but I'm just saying, we're standing, listen, we ain't just talking, we seen it happen.
Right.
I know anybody can get a kitchen done. When you look at our situation, no, it was not in the writing for it. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that when you are together as one, because it said, and the two shall be one, meaning you are united at every front.
Right.
He will command the blessing.
Right. Any other comments, questions? Sorry, I know we try to get to all of your comments and questions. They go by so fast, and so we have our daughter monitoring on back end. But sometimes we get a little long-winded and answer the questions.
we excited about
please
this. Please
don't get upset about it at us if we don't get to your question. Or put it back in the chat.
Put it back in the chat.
So it'll pop back up.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be honest with you, like, the one thing about us, and it's pretty much our motto, we love to see couples win.
Yes.
Because we've seen so many fail, and we begin to see why. And kind of, around that, if you will. But it's like we love to see couples win. Right. And a lot of us, we don't know. Right. So it's like, well, we're going to utilize what we have so that we can help couples win.
Yes.
So someone asked, what if separated and you want it to work, but your partner doesn't know? I'm not sure if they doesn't know how to make it work or if they don't know that you want to have it work.
But now, also, there's times you also got to know when to seek help. If you still love it and you can't figure out how to get the puzzle together, then you got to seek help. Because a lot of times, it's not by what can't mix. It's literally about what's going on within me. Because that goes down to our triggers. It goes into unspoken expectations. It goes into lack of communication. It goes down to, it can boil all the way down to unforgiveness. Right. And so it's being able to get to the root of the cause, because granted, like when we hit that point of getting ready to divorce, we'll get ready to split we'll get ready to split like two separate ways.
We were right on the brink of divorce. He had his attorney, I had my attorney. We were still in the same household because we couldn't afford to be apart. However, the first thing that started, God spoke to him first, and then we had to have a conversation.
Right.
So for you as well, I'd recommend have that conversation. If they don't know that you want to reconcile, if they don't know how to reconcile, if you don't know how to reconcile, this is that pivotal moment where you stop and you say, okay, listen, we need help to be able to get over this hump because we love each other. So let's go see if we can talk to a marriage coach, a therapist, a counselor. Right. And then let's start rebuilding our marriage. But as you do that, make sure that you're forgiving so that you're not bringing all that junk into your new process.
Come on, mama.
Yeah, that's so you got to leave that behind. So have a day of closure where you talk about everything. You lay it out, you say how you feel, how you felt, what you thought, all that great stuff. And from that day of closure, don't bring it back up no more.
Right. And get to your triggers. Get to your why you respond this way, why you react this way. Get to your triggers. Because for us, that was oh my God, that was like heaven sent, if you will.
Yes.
Okay, so someone said hello.
Hey.
It's been a while.
Hey, from Facebook.
They said that
TikTok.
They miss you guys.
Hey.
And someone else said thank you for your transparency. And someone else said they just celebrated their 28th anniversary.
Celebrating the longevity in the house. We miss you guys too.
And the person who said that they were separated but they want to get back together, they said that the other person knows that they want to get back together, but they're not sure what they want to do.
So it sounds like it's the male, right?
And the person said that they felt that therapy didn't work. And it's their time.
So let me
say this about therapy, right? There are a whole lot of therapists out there. There are a whole lot of counselors out there. And all of them ain't good. So if you don't find one that you like, go to somebody else. Right? If you have a good insurance plan and a good coverage that covers that, just go to another. It's like a doctor, right? If you got that good PPO plan and you don't like that doctor, you go and you find another doctor. Right? So go and find you another doctor, or if you have an HMO plan and you got to wait a whole another year, but you know when that year ends, you're going to go find you another doctor.
Hey, find your coach. We're coaches. So I'm going to throw it out there.
And we are absolutely we're amazing coaches. And so here's the key thing, though. If you both want it,
right,
we will get in the trenches and work with you.
We will be in there with you. Because guess what? You got to put in the work. Yeah. We put in the work. And I'm telling you, it's like a newfound love.
Right.
So you got to put in the work.
Yes.
Someone said that their spouse and them did get their first therapy session, but he was not ready to start working.
Ooh, okay.
He said that he has withdrawn and still lives at the house with them.
So this is what you do. You start working on you, because guess what? That's what happened with her. She started focusing on her. Next thing I know, I was like, hold on, chick, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute.
You didn't want to get left behind.
But she was focusing on her. She wasn't focusing on trying to fix the marriage. She was focused on trying to get her right for her. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Well, let me do what the therapist was talking about doing.
Because I will tell you that when you become the best version of you, then you can love somebody else unconditionally.
Oh my God,
because So you can't change the other person,
You
right?
can't change it.
So I'm going to celebrate you all because you all started the process at least to therapy. Now, if your spouse wasn't ready and to be able to do the work, that at least says something, right? That they know that there's a problem, but they're not quite ready to do the work.
But hold on.
So once you start doing the work on you and you loving you and you identifying what your triggers are, you finding out what your insecurities are, you truly loving you, then what happens is something, it becomes, I don't know, did it become sexy or something, baby?
Oh my God. Yo, when she was
Like,
working on her,
yeah.
oh my God. I was like, what? This chick vicious. Not like, when I say vicious, like she was the bomb.com.
Because there was a point in my marriage where he was an idol, right? I idolized him because I wanted to please him. I idolized him because I wanted, him to act a certain way, him to be a certain way, him to do a certain thing.
Trying to change.
And I was so focused on him that I lost sight of who I was.
Yeah.
And so once I started working on me and saying, hey, Tamika, you got to get it together, girl. Like, what is going on? What do you want to do? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Like, what do you desire? And once I realized that and I got a hold to that, he complimented whatever it was I did, but I wasn't waiting on him to get there.
Right. So listen, I know on this Thursday night it has gone long because the shepherd pie takes a minute to cook. So we thank you guys for hanging in there with us because you don't know when you're on about 30, 45 minutes.
We got another comment. What you about to close it out?
No, I'm just saying thank you because we've been on for an hour now. So
have we?
Yeah,
so holding in there with us.
I just want to just let you all know we appreciate it. We really do appreciate it.
So we got 3 other questions.
Okay.
Yes.
Someone said for a relationship to work, y'all both need to want it, and they feel like that it's one-sided. And someone else asked if y'all coach people that have gone through divorce after 24 years but have trouble being good co-parents. And someone else asked, how do they start working on themselves? How do they work on themselves?
So you start working on yourself.
I'm gonna give this to wife.
So wait, there are a couple of things. So the first one was
for a relationship to work, you both need to want it, and they feel that it's one-sided.
Okay, so for a relationship to work, quickly.
So one thing real quick.
So I get to the other
because you feel as though it's one-sided, that's when you have to make sure that you literally focus on you.
Right.
She's gonna get her to answer that question because there's one thing about it. When you talk about marriage, you can only bring your one to it because it says, and the two shall become one.
Right.
So you got to make sure you bring your full self to it. So if you feel like it's one-sided, then you got to now focus on you. Go ahead. She on top of that. Go ahead.
And then for the other couple, do we do coaching for couples who
have gone through divorce but have trouble being good co-parents?
Yeah, because the process is the same.
It's literally the
right?
same.
The process is the same.
It's the child, even though you're not together.
So we do.
Our concern is the child.
We do coaching for that because we identify the roots, right? We identify the challenges,
right?
And not so much the marriage. We identify the challenges because once you identify your challenges individually, what you do, how you show up in your marriage,
right?
How you show up in that relationship,
right?
Then we can tackle everything else,
right?
So for how you start loving yourself, like you truly have to just have a moment to where you decide to choose you.
Right.
I'm not worried about what my husband is doing. I'm not worried about what my husband is saying. I'm worried about, okay, Tamika, what is it that you like? When he says this or he says that, why do I respond this way?
Right.
What are my most intimate triggers? Like, what are the roots to those triggers?
Right.
Why do I respond the way that I do? Why do I behave the way that I do?
Right.
Why do I
Come on, mama.
Why do I have an issue? Why am I insecure in this area? Why do I fear that he's going to leave and abandon me?
Ooh.
Like, why do I have all these different thoughts? And I sat and I settled with that. And I was like, well, wait a second. If I'm afraid of this, then okay, this is the reason why that. If I'm afraid of this, then okay, where does that come from?
Right.
Because how I show up has everything to do with me and not him.
Right. That's it. So that's how you focus on you. You get to your why.
And I got a workbook. I can give that to you guys for free. How I'm gonna do that?
Then we're gonna need you to go to Marriage Takeover.
Yeah, go to marriagetakeover.com.
So that you can get on the email list.
Newsletter.
Right.
And I promise I'm gonna send the newsletter out tomorrow. So if you do it today, it's absolutely free. I'm gonna do that newsletter, send it out tomorrow, so you'll have that. And it's literally a blueprint. Like you start asking yourself questions. Start asking yourself these questions and doing the work,
Yep.
right? Because that's where it starts. Sometimes we are afraid to do the work because we're afraid of what's going to be revealed.
And that's the thing. You cannot be afraid of you. That's why I love Michael Jackson so much, because he had it right. I'm talking about the man in the mirror. So when you look in the mirror, that's who he's talking about. Only you can literally change your own ways.
Right.
And what is that? That is getting rid of whatever it is that's holding you back so that you can be your full, authentic self.
Right.
Because guess what? The world want to see they need your full, authentic self. Because when you your full, authentic self, hers, guess what?
Right. So if you're in Facebook, I know you're already connected. So I'll drop that workbook inside of the Facebook group.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that in the page or the group?
Should be the group.
Okay.
Right.
It's all of them. It's the page group and
So if you're not in the group, go get in the group,
Yeah,
because that's where it's going to be dropped at.
And marriagetakeover.com is the start to get into the group.
Yeah.
And then we'll send you everything else. But I'll make sure
Please
that you get that.
answer the 3 questions.
Yeah,
You got to answer the 3
Ask some
questions.
y'all. And so I'll post that tomorrow, and it'll also go out in the newsletter as well for tomorrow.
Go ahead. Comment.
Sorry.
So someone asked, how do they start working on themselves? And
just
I'm
answered
not
that
sure
one.
if it's the same person, but they said that when they started their vegetable garden, they were just doing their own thing. They noticed that their spouse was talking to them more.
See?
And
Yes.
They asked if when they go out with friends and do their own thing, is that okay?
Absolutely. Why
Yeah.
not? We hit on that last week. You need
See?
a break.
You
Right?
should have been here last
It's
week.
okay. Now I'm gonna put this caveat on that. Now, if you got people, you got friends that you connected with that don't want you to be married, and they always putting some little mess in your stuff,
Them ain't the ones you want to
them
go
not
out
the ones
with.
you want to hang out
Them ain't
with.
the ones you want to go
But it
with.
is absolutely okay for you to go and hang out, for you to go ahead and relax, for you to go ahead like that. You need that.
You need it.
Right?
You got to have that break.
Because if you don't have that break, you're gonna go crazy, you're gonna snap, you're gonna be aggravated.
You're going to have all these issues.
Right? You have a whole lot of stuff. So go take your break. You need your break.
Because look at it. I'm going to tell you, it's just like when you kind of look at COVID, during the COVID season, the divorce rate went high. Why? Because no one knew how to take their break for one. Oh, yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out. You got 8
Yeah,
minutes
so
left on it.
take your break because you need your break.
Yep.
And sometimes you need to just unplug and go and hang out with the girls. There's nothing wrong
And
with
you
that.
need some time to go hang out with the boys.
Right, with the fellas. There's nothing wrong. I push Eric sometimes to go and hang out.
And listen, women, if you do not trust the environment, trust your husband.
Right,
If you do not trust the environment, trust your husband.
right. Yeah, because you need that. We need that sanity. We need that time to just relax and unwind and just kick it.
Right. Any other comments?
Let me check. Someone said, thank you all for the advice. And someone else that said they
You're
had
welcome.
COVID, they said, I was so sick and still thought of you guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Send us an email. Send us an email.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're better. I'm so glad
Yeah,
that you're
y'all,
better.
please stay healthy. Please take care of yourself. And that's also a part of your mental health.
Oh, yeah.
You unwinding and you hanging out with your friends, you hanging out with your boys. Like, that's a part of self-care.
Yep,
Like,
it
you
is.
need that.
It's an unwind. It gives you a different scenery. Because I don't know, because sometimes, like, when I go hang out with the boys, I cut it short because I can't wait to get back home. I'm just saying, that's just me. You know, I apologize. You know, except for when I'm on my bike. I'm on that
I will
mug
say,
until I'm tired.
We're gonna see about this
I'm-
Florida trip, y'all. This will be the longest he's been away in July. I am so not looking forward to it.
Oh.
In July, he'll be gone for 2 weeks.
But I'm taking my bike with me.
But he's taking his bike. But
No, I'm not. I gotta get a new one. I
But
forgot.
he needs it. So I trust him. Like, whatever, if he does something, excuse me, that he ain't supposed to, that's between him and God.
Come on, mama. Say that. Say that.
I trust him to honor and respect and to cherish and to uphold the covenant of our marriage.
Hey, you had no thoughts on
I'm just saying, I
Right.
trust him to do that.
Exactly.
So if he doesn't, will I be hurt? Yes. Will I be devastated? Absolutely. But guess what? We got to work through that if we're going to decide to stay together and work through that. Or
I don't like where your mind goes. I don't like where her mind
all
goes.
I'm saying is
Ooh,
you have a choice to make. Every
Listen.
day you make a choice in your
Yeah,
marriage.
every day you
Every
choose.
day you make a choice in your relationship.
Yep. Every day you choose.
Every single day you choose.
And I tell you, I choose me.
Right. Who was that? Tamia? That was Tamia's song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
choose you.
it is-
Because you have more confidence when you do that.
Right.
And I'm telling you, when you got that confidence, when you got that swag, it's a little bit sexier.
Oh yeah, that it is now. That it is.
And then they're trying to figure out, well, what you doing? How come you ain't all under me like you used to be?
What you
How come
doing?
you not questioning me no more?
Where you at?
Well, it's because I'm focusing on me, and that is okay.
But again, at the same time, when you're focused on you, you still cannot forget those moments of intimacy because they're going to happen. You know what I'm saying? When you're gonna that time when you both sitting on the couch, or whatever the case is, you still can't miss those moments because that is still a part of you being married.
Yes.
Okay, first someone said you guys are so cute.
Oh,
thank
you.
you. Thank you.
And secondly, someone asked, can marriages recover from infidelity?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, they can. Listen, let me tell you something, right? You can recover. Just like she said, you have to choose what you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to choose one to forgive. Yeah. It's a process. You have to choose to forgive. That's number one. Even if, Lord, help me to forgive.
Right.
Because it's a process. But the ultimate piece is choosing to work through it. Not just the one, but the both. Because then you can find out, where did we go off kilter, off the road? Where did we go wrong?
And because sometimes it's not a we. Sometimes it was just that person.
Right, it could be just the individual.
And so you have to not only forgive, but then you have to rebuild that trust.
Yep.
If you're willing to forgive, if you're willing to rebuild the trust, if you're willing to work through that thing, then guess what?
Right.
You can absolutely bounce back from that.
And I'm guaranteed that.
And it can be stronger than what it was before.
Exactly.
The infidelity.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's a choice. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you. It's a choice.
Yeah. You have to choose. Do you want to go through that process?
That's it. Is it a hurtful process? It is. It really is, because what? You betrayed the covenant, right? So yeah, it is a hurtful process. But the thing that you'll be stronger because of it, but you got to choose it. Right. Now you can't be like, oh, you're gonna choose it, but then keep bringing it up.
Right.
That's not gonna help. Right. But if you're gonna choose to work through it, then work through it. Have that day of closure and just let it go.
Right.
And work through it. Yes, trust got to be rebuilt. Because if you still have a strong foundation, you might have to reinforce it, but you can still rebuild. Any other comments? It's question time.
And set boundaries.
And then exactly. My wife, she out there on what's called. But yeah, again, set those boundaries, not just for you all, but you all have that moment where you say, okay, listen, get to the root of what caused it. If anyone has to go outside, that means that there's something lacking inside. And so you have to find what lacks, because it's just not, it's a one-time thing. Nah, that thing had to be slow. 9 times out of 10, it's slowly built. By hey, you can talk to me, that makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? So it's that, because when you get to the root, you at it. Oh Lord, my battery about to die.
Oh, that's why.
Praise Jesus.
Pause. You pause.
Am I paused?
Okay, you're back.
Okay. Sorry about that. My bad about that. All right, we got 46 seconds and this shepherd pie about to be done. We thank y'all for hanging in there with us while we put this shepherd pie together. Real quick, let us know what you would. Hold on, next week. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let us know what you would like for us to cook next week. I'm gonna tell you about what you put in, if I can do it or not. So, just let us put it in the chat. What you want to see.
Just want to exclude mom
vegan
like
mac and
that?
cheese.
Y'all can try that. I'm not.
Ooh, I still want to try the vegan mac and cheese. So let us know what you want us to cook next week.
Man, hey, again, I know tonight ran longer than an hour, but we appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. But I'm telling you, please be on the lookout. When is what we doing our next be on the lookout for the podcast.
Oh, that's smoking.
Oh, that's because it's down there. The juices.
You got it, baby?
Yeah.
Ooh, that thing looks so good.
Ooh, someone said
it's dripping.
Someone said barbecue ribs.
Ooh, yes. That's what we're gonna do.
Really? You want to do barbecue ribs?
Yes, it's dripping, baby.
That's it. You see that joint? That's that shepherd pie. Looking good.
From your girl.
That's all.
I normally am not the one cooking, so I hope it tastes good. That's the key. Is it gonna taste good?
So we gotta wipe that out.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. So, yes.
Someone
Last
said,
comments, questions?
someone said that looks delicious. And
Thank you.
someone else said once they cheat, the trust is gone.
Say what?
Once
Right.
they
The
cheat,
trust is
gone.
you're right. The trust is gone. So then you have a choice to make. Right? Do you want to work on rebuilding that trust? Because that's a lot of work.
It starts with forgiveness
And it
first.
starts with forgiveness. So you're absolutely right.
Is that we good? So what we got? Ribs.
Barbecue ribs. All right, barbecue ribs it is.
But, ooh, I gotta
Anybody
watch the
else?
ribs.
That's
All right.
good stuff.
Man, you pulling me out. I was gonna wait until a minute because I think we're gonna be on the grill with the ribs. So I might get started a little early so we can get it right. You feel me?
Ooh, someone said bake a cake.
Ooh. Let
All right.
me try.
We're gonna try to bake a cake. We might have it ready by the time it gets here.
Right.
Okay? But
We're
because
gonna try that though.
we can't be on that. We can't be. Oh, you missed
We
the
can do
seafood
that.
bowl.
What's the seafood bowl?
You missed
We
the
just
seafood.
had one
I
this
just did it.
weekend.
I just did it.
Yeah, we just
Dang.
did one with this one. We gotta
Sorry.
post a picture. We just did one this weekend.
I'll post a picture up about the
The
seafood
whole
bowl.
island was filled with with crabs,
Hey, crabs, corn.
potato sausage.
Yeah, your boy did that joint.
Yeah,
We had the
shrimp,
blue
it was so
crabs and snow crabs. So
Yeah.
shrimps. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they punished that joint.
So,
yeah.
so ribs for next week,
Ribs.
and then I might do some. You want to do collard greens with it?
Yeah,
Okay.
ribs, collards, and yeah, we'll figure something else out on the
Okay.
side. So hey, huh?
Ribs, collards, and mashed potato.
Okay, yeah,
All
mashed
right,
potatoes.
mashed potatoes as a
All
start.
right, sweet.
So
So
we got
we'll
the
do
menu
that.
for next week. Hey, listen. So we're gonna dig. How about next week? We're gonna dig into rebuilding that trust after fidelity.
Or what is that? What y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about rebuilding trust after fidelity, or what y'all want to talk about next week?
Ooh, someone said potato salad.
Ooh, okay, we can do potato salad. Okay. So yes.
And someone else said love the kitchen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll hit that topic next week. Building the trust again. And then we'll do ribs and collard greens and potato salad. And that's it. So
That's
y'all
it.
make sure y'all sign up for the renewmymarriage.com.
Right.
Sign up for that challenge. It starts June 6th. Everything will be recorded, so you'll have access to the replays for a limited amount of time.
Right.
And thank you all so much for tuning in.
Someone said they want to talk about family. And someone else said, what about a spouse going through midlife crisis?
Ooh.
We've been there.
No, that's what they're talking about, the challenges.
Oh,
That's what we're
okay.
talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying we kind of
Okay.
yeah,
So
we
let's
kind of
talk
been through
next
that joint.
All right, so let's talk about family and what? Midlife crisis?
No, I really want to talk about. Okay, I tell you what.
we
Be
can
on
do
the
it all-
lookout.
we
Be
can
on
do
the
it all
lookout.
inside of trust.
We can
right?
wrap it all in trust.
Right. We like that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll wrap it
So,
all in trust. So
thank
be
you
on the
guys.
lookout on the TikTok and the Facebook. Be on the lookout. So
The link is in our bio.
Yeah.
And then if you want to for TikTok, if you want that access to the how to work on myself, please make sure you go to marriagetakeover.com. I'm going to send a newsletter out tomorrow, so you'll have access to that. If you're in the Facebook group, I will post that in the Facebook group on tomorrow.
Right. So also a lot of stuff that we talked about when we talked about the finance and certain other stuff is also in detail in our book called Know Your Role in Your Marriage. So you can pick that up from marriagetakeover.com.
Yes.
So you can also get your put your information in so that you can also join the newsletter as well.
All right.
So we
appreciate you guys so
we
much.
thank you for your time.
Love you guys. Thank y'all for showing up.
Hey, I'm showing up. Yeah, shout out
We
Jersey,
appreciate
Florida,
it.
Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, out on our line.
Everybody else, Alaska, everybody.
Ohio,
Texas.
Thailand, everybody.
Thank you so much.
So we thank y'all.
I'm your girl Tamika.
I'm your boy E-Rock Nim, aka Chef E-Rock Nim. Y'all be blessed.
This is Marriage Takeover signing out. Yes.
No, there's a delay. I'm saying freeze.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. Make sure screenshot that.
Oh.
Hold up.
Screenshot that.